So I wanted to take just a minute and talk about a topic that seems to have been coming up a lot recently with a number of clients and colleagues and business owners that I've been talking to over the past several months, and that is pipeline maintenance and outsourcing. You know, they're just by the very nature of the government contracting industry, especially when it comes to small businesses. We have, how many, maybe it's the company you own or run or work for, or you may know some of your friends and colleagues. How many business development departments are staffed by 1, 2, or 3 people only? And so within that group of arguably, I'm sure, very talented individuals, how many hats are they wearing? Are they each wearing 2 hats or 3 hats? Are they all playing BD analyst, business developer, capture manager, proposal writer, proposal reviewer? Depending upon the time of day and the season that we're in and the government's crazy schedule and a number of other factors, they could be wearing multiple hats all during the same day. As a matter of fact, you could be switching hats during the same meeting. And so what happens? Well, we get overcome with what we might call the tyranny of the urgent. You know, what needs to be done now, today, takes priority. And what we think can wait for the future, we just put it off. We hope, we pray, we count our blessings, we're going to be fine. And, don't worry about it. We'll figure it out later. Well, then 2 or 3 months go by and you look at your pipeline and you realize that you've missed something. You realize that a sources saw it was posted to SAM and you haven't checked SAM in weeks. And, you might even get a daily email distribution, but you haven't looked at it recently because you've been up to your, armpits and alligators and the whole world is coming unraveled and proposals and customer meetings and, the list goes on. And, I think it can be accurately said that your deal pipeline is either the lifeblood or the foundation of your business. And if you don't keep it up to date, how can you be successful quarter over quarter, year over year? And can only one individual really keep that pipeline up to date? And even if they can, have you found that rock star? They don't often exist. And here's the other real trouble with trying to hire somebody to manage your pipeline. As soon as they get trained, and they get a little bit of experience, and they figure out that there's money to be made in the marketplace, that entry-level job, they leave that entry-level job you might have put them in, and they have bolted and gone to a larger firm for more money. And there you are. You have to hire somebody else, and you have to train somebody else, and the staff takes a hit. And so, full disclosure, of course, we're in this business, and so some of what I'm saying, you could argue is very self-serving. But anybody who has worked with me or known me for any length of time knows that honesty and integrity is a big part of our business. Value, integrity, excellence was one of our taglines for a long time. And I wouldn't be talking about this if I didn't really believe it. But outsourcing the maintenance and the building and the maintenance of your pipeline, I think, is one of the best moves you can make as a business owner, as a growth executive, for the long-term health of your business. And not just your pipeline, but the making sure that you front load that with the right level of strategic planning, that you empower your consulting team or your outsourced analysts to really understand your business, make sure they have access to the right tools, make sure they've got their thinking squared away. But you can outsource. What's the real value in outsourcing is that outsourced individual, if they're good, or if that team is good, and we've got good teams, of course, but if you've picked the right individual or the right group, they've got one job to do, And that's make sure that your organization, your team of business developers and capture managers and proposal staff are equipped with all the market intelligence that they need in order to execute on the plans that you've given them, in order to capture the business that you want them to capture, to write those winning proposals, and to make big plays. But they can't make big plays if they're also encumbered with analyzing of a truckload of data that lands on their desk every week or every day. So think about outsourcing your pipeline. I'm going to talk about pipeline build, maintenance, outsourcing, best practices, tools. I'm going to, in this little podcast series, I'm going to talk about a number of these topics because I've been thinking about them for a long time. I've actually invested in the building of tools. I believe we're exceptionally good at this, and I really see a good, healthy, robust, strategic, and tactical pipeline as one of the very keys to your success in government contracting. So hopefully you find this series helpful, and hopefully these little small podcast, what I think I'm calling growth bites, will be helpful to you. Wishing you all the best as we go into fiscal year 2026. I'm sure it'll be fun, and we'll talk soon.